Wartime Lies is a novel written by Louis Begley in 1991. Loosely based on the author's own childhood experiences, the story follows Maciek, a Polish Jew born just before the onset of World War II. To survive the war, Maciek is compelled to assume a false identity. The novel is narrated from the perspective of an older Maciek who reflects on the lasting impact of living a life of deception as a child. He laments, the man with sad eyes believes he has been changed inside forever, like a beaten dog, and gods will not cure that. He has no good deeds to look back upon. Throughout the narrative, the older narrator frequently alludes to European literary classics, particularly Virgil's Aeneid and Dante's Inferno. Maciek's birth occurs a few months after the burning of the Reichstag in 1933, an event that catapulted the Nazis to power in Germany. Tragically, Maciek's young mother dies during childbirth, adding to the trauma surrounding his arrival into the world. He is subsequently raised by his mother's older sister, Tania, who assumes responsibility for the household. Maciek's father, an affluent doctor educated in Vienna, is absent, while Tania, from a wealthy family and renowned for her beauty, is considered unmarriageable due to her eccentric behavior and rumored romantic liaisons. Tania proves to be a domineering stepmother, negatively impacting Maciek's sensitive nature. By the age of 3, he suffers from distressing nightmares and several eating disorders. Maciek's rapid mental and physical decline is halted by the arrival of Zofia, a non-Jewish Polish woman hired as a nursemaid for him. Zofia provides maternal care by allowing Maciek to sleep with her and tending to his needs. As a result, Maciek's health improves, and he begins to appreciate the comforts and privileges of his life, only to have the war disrupt everything. Maciek's father is compelled to accompany the retreating Russian army, leaving Maciek and Tania behind. The arrival of the Germans marks a turning point as they initiate the roundup of Jews in the area. Unfortunately, Zofia is forced to leave Maciek's household due to her father's decision. Jews face harassment, eviction, and violence from both Germans and Poles. Amid this chaos, Tania, displaying a remarkable instinct for survival, uses her charms to seduce a German administrator who offers protection to her family. However, they are betrayed by informants, leading to the administrator's suicide and the tragic loss of Maciek's grandmother, who is caught in the crossfire. The SS intensifies their search for Tania, forcing her and Maciek to flee from one boarding house to another. Tania resourcefully obtains false identification papers that portray them as Catholic Poles, and they embark on a perilous journey toward Warsaw, where Maciek's grandfather is in hiding. Tania becomes Maciek's teacher, instructing him in the art of deception and the lies they must tell to avoid detection. Although Maciek despises falsehood, he understands that their lives depend on maintaining this charade. Each night, Tania scrutinizes their performance, demanding perfection as if they were fellow performers discussing their craft. Maciek relies on his refined manners and responds to inquiries with a vacant smile. However, he cannot ignore the horrors unfolding around him, such as the callous indifference of non-Jewish Poles when the Germans shell the Warsaw ghetto. Maciek becomes disturbed by Tania's apparent enjoyment of their dangerous and deceitful existence, finding her jokes and games isolating and unsettling. He resents the thought of being complicit in criminal acts. Internally, he begins to resist Tania's insistence on lies and performance, even as he knows he must maintain the facade in public. Eventually, Maciek rebels against Tania, using her own methods against her. He subtly alters the requirements for his assigned tasks, hoping to challenge her. However, Tania catches him in the act, criticizing his lack of originality and cleverness in his attempts at deception. Maciek and Tania live in constant fear of being discovered, enduring the horrors of the Warsaw Uprising and the devastating loss of Maciek's grandfather. They manage to survive until the war's end when Maciek's father, newly released from a Siberian prison camp, returns with a new wife. Maciek feels a sense of relief at being liberated from Tania's presence, but little does he know that her influence will continue to haunt him throughout his life. As the family prepares to emigrate, the older narrator reflects on his childhood identity, dismissing it as nothing more than empty lies and vanitas. Wartime Lies was praised as a remarkable debut novel by the New York Times. It received accolades, including the Hemingway Foundation PEN Award in 1991 and the Prix Medicis Étranger in 1992. In 1993, a film adaptation titled Aryan Papers, written and directed by Stanley Kubrick, was approved by Warner Brothers. However, the project was ultimately shelved. Since Wartime Lies, Louis Begley has authored several novels, most notably the Schmidt trilogy. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.